Hi, this is Stellar. Hi, we're YouTube, yes.
Yes, we
We
are.
yes, YouTubes.
Very hard working guy.
This is me trying to do Stellar with a friend. This is a terrible idea. Don't ever do it.
I can't get a good angle. There we go. I didn't do anything that tall. Okay. Do either of you two have a favorite YouTuber? Can you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel? Your YouTube channel.
But YouTube is that
About being a good YouTuber.
I lost it. Where's my mouse? Okay, well, welcome to Stellar. I've lost my mouse. There it is. There we go. Okay, so welcome to Stellar. I'm Sarah Kipp.
And I'm Cameron Carrier.
And today we are talking about a very interesting topic. We are talking about whether or not YouTube is a suitable career path or not.
It's an interesting topic.
It is. It took us a lot of work to be able to actually do this topic. So, hey, you guys are lucky if you're tuning in for the first time ever today, or maybe you're a typical watcher and you just join us every single Friday. So, yeah, coming up in the show,
We have an interview with Adam Buckley, who does a YouTube channel here in London. So we got to interview him, as well as we go to Fanshawe and ask the people around Fanshawe about YouTube as a career and whether they would pursue it if given the chance.
yeah, and I mean, what about you, Cameron? What do you think? YouTube is a career path. I mean, we join Fanshawe College to learn about how to run a career or later in our lives, but YouTube isn't exactly something that they teach you how to do. So do you think YouTube career path?
Personally, I think it can be done. It takes a lot of effort. It's more than people think. You know, you have to be going at it 24/7, and you have to really be aware that you're not going to do well and you're not going to be popular, and it's going to be difficult right at the beginning, but it might pay off, and with any luck, you'll be able to become, you know,
Successful at it,
sufficient
yeah.
while doing it.
Yeah, it's not like, people think it can be a hobby, which it can be if you want to be like Adam Buckley, who just does it on the side from his normal work. But if you want to be a guy like PewDiePie, then you got to live and breathe YouTube. You got to be at that 24/7. Well, coming up just right now, we're going to be showing you how to make a YouTube video, as well as what makes a good YouTube video. So stick around. So you want to make a YouTube channel. You want to be like the greats like Tobuscus, PewDiePie, Markiplier.
JonTron, Hot Pepper Gaming. But before we get into how to make a YouTube channel, we're going to talk about what makes a great YouTube channel.
So first, let's start with personality. Now, this is your imaging and what makes you recognizable in the YouTube community. So this is where people start with, like Game Grumps, for example. They have their cartoony heads of whether it was JonTron and Egoraptor, or it was Egoraptor and Danny from Starbomb.
There are also channels like Funhouse, who just launched, who have a really unique name. You know, there's nowhere else online that has that name, and it's just easily searchable. Next up is consistency, so things like intros and extras to your videos. People recognize the beginning as well as when a video might end.
Let's take Markiplier and Tobuscus, for example. Now, Markiplier always starts his games with, "Hello, my name is Markiplier, and today..." That's how he always starts, whereas when he ends, he always ends with, "And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye." That's how he always ends. Tobuscus is very similar. For the most part, people recognize the starts of his videos with those great big steel doors closing and it going, "Tobuscus!" Now this kind of ties in with consistency. By having a consistent time that you schedule, whether it's weekly or monthly, JonTron got into a problem where he wasn't uploading regularly and people thought he had died. So a gaming theorist is a good example. He actually has 3 people working his channel. So when he's not doing his main features of game theories, he's got 2 other guys taking over things.
You know, along with the Rooster Teeth guys and the Let's Play channel, they have something every day and different shows. You go in on Tuesday and you know this show's going to be here or this show's going to be here. Next up, if it's necessary, you need scripts. That way you can understand where your video starts and where it ends and how to get there in between.
Good scripts are the difference between Let's Plays, where they just come up with stuff as they go along, or reviews, like as we've been using JonTron. He obviously has a script that he begins with and how he knows what for sure he has to mention in his video. Now, editing can be really simple. It really doesn't matter what editing program you use, whether it's a default on your computer or you want to buy a very expensive one like Premiere Pro. For example, we use simple iMovie off of our Mac computers here. As long as you've got something, you can make something out of anything.
What people don't realize about being a good YouTuber is that a lot of people have networks behind them and businesses behind them.
The largest network is Maker Studios, as a smaller division of Maker is Polaris, with channels such as PewDiePie and Captain Sparkles. Another large network is Fullscreen, which owns channels such as The Fine Bros. And finally, there is Machinima, which has channels such as Sky Does Minecraft, as well as Gaming Lemon.
So now that we've given you a kind of rough layout on what makes a good YouTuber, now we're going to go into how to make your YouTube channel. Now you're going to pretty much start with the basics, which is gear. You're going to need a video camera recording device. Now that can be anything from a camcorder to a webcam or the camera installed into your laptop. Next is your microphone. It can be one that you've got installed into your camera already, into your laptop, or you can get a very fancy microphone like this one.
You're going to need some kind of editing software, such as iMovie or even Windows Movie Maker, to something like Premiere Pro or Sony Vegas. Next up on things you'll need is lighting, and it can go super simple, things like turning a lamp sideways to light up the room you're in, or studio lighting to give that room a warmer glow.
So next up is your concept. What is your video and channel actually going to be about? Is it going to be a rant? Is it going to be a let's play, a deep review, a basic review, or is it going to be maybe skits that you do?
Image, such as your name, your logo, there's a banner on YouTube that you have to put in, watermarks during your videos. You're going to need to design something that people recognize instantly.
Now the last thing you're going to need is paperwork. You need things like script, schedule, maybe a definition of workload. You're going to upload these days, especially production-wise. If you have someone else working on your production, and then you shoot it, and then you edit it, and then you upload it.
Now, a lot of people don't think of when creating a YouTube channel is that you have to interact with people. You can't just upload a video and walk away. You have to keep up with social media. You have to reply to comments. So you need to interact with your fan base.
So that's a basic idea of what makes a good YouTuber and how to make a good YouTube channel. The best kind of research you can do is just watching a bunch of different kind of YouTube channels and how and what makes them good YouTubers as well.
Going back. There we go. All right, so that was our little video. And Cam, we mentioned a lot of YouTubers in that video.
We did.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber?
I do. Personally, it was really hard to find just one I liked, but I think my favorite is probably a channel known as Hot Pepper Gaming. It's a review video game review where essentially the people reviewing the games beforehand eat a really spicy pepper, usually a habanero, and it's funny to watch. It's interesting. They do a lot of games that don't necessarily get coverage, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, no, I have to say my absolute favorite one is JonTron. Whenever he does upload video, I'm like, fangirl a little bit there. It's like, oh my god, he uploaded something. But yeah, no,
He is really funny.
He's a lot of fun. If you don't know either of those, Hot Pepper Gaming or JonTron, you gotta go and check them out on YouTube. But wait until we're done first. Don't leave us quite yet. All right, so coming up in a little bit, we're actually gonna be asking Fanshawe students who their favorite YouTubers are. But before that, we're gonna be interviewing Adam Buckley, a YouTuber right here in London. So be sure to stick around. Yes.
Music's so good, it's like the band is right in front of you. Fanshawe's alternative, The Falcon. It's not always boring in the halls of Fanshawe. With CFRL Radio, it's always a party. You can listen to a wide range of music on CFRL Radio, from college country to roots of rock. You can listen online at CFRLradio.com. Fanshawe's hotspot, CFRL.
106.9 The X broadcasting all across London.
You may hear us, but we can see you. The next time you do something embarrassing, listen to 106.9 The X, because we could be talking about you.
Alrighty, so we are talking about, Sarah and Cameron are talking about YouTube and whether or not it is a suitable career path. Now Cameron, you told me when we started to do this that you actually tried to fire up a YouTube channel.
Not so much tried, I do have one. It's where I put my quote-unquote music. I think I have one video of me performing in grade 12 music class of my own song. Like it's not nothing, but it's not anything at the same time. So I plan on doing some more stuff with that, but I'm not sure when, I'm not sure how exactly. So for now,
career path for you then, or just a hobby?
Just a hobby.
Just a
guaranteed.
hobby. I'll admit it. I have actual plans to maybe start a YouTube channel. It'd be a game review, but if it became a career, I'd be all for it, but I'm not planning on it. I'm not crazy or anything like that.
No, it would be difficult,
But we're actually going to be talking to Adam Buckley. Now, he doesn't do it for his career either, but he is a very successful YouTuber here in London. His YouTube channel is called A Dose of Buckley, and we're going to be talking to him right here. All right, so we are here with Adam Buckley. Adam, you are a YouTuber and both a worker in the workplace world. Can you tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, well, my YouTube channel is called A Dose of Buckley, and I brand it as angry humor from an angry man. It's sort of a variety channel, but it's essentially rant-based comedy. It's sort of a pop culture, social commentary, that kind of thing. The stuff I'm mostly known for is my music critiques, my 10 worst songs videos of each year.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber besides yourself?
Not really. I don't really watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. I used to like Epic Mealtime, and then I kind of got bored of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing all the time, which it happens. Epic Rap Battles of History I find enjoyable.
Those guys are fun.
But outside of that, it's funny because I would never really watch someone that does what I do generally. I don't know if that's arrogant or whatever, but I just don't really enjoy like watching other people rant on the internet, especially like that webcam style where it's just them sitting in front of their computer. I just can't really get into that, but some people enjoy it.
So how do you make yours a little bit different so you don't fall into that where you're saying you don't want to just have one shot of a guy rambling? How do you make yourself different in that sense then?
I write, like all of my stuff is scripted. I use like pretty rudimentary visuals for all of my stuff. It's not really all that fancy or anything like that, but it kind of adds to it. I like to add like little visual jokes in as I'm talking about stuff.
Would you consider being a YouTuber, whether yourself or many YouTubers out there, would you consider being a YouTuber a career path?
I guess in the same sense as you could consider any sort of entertainment or entertainer to be a career path. I mean, there's a lot of people that would say, oh, I want to be a musician. Well, how many musicians actually make it to a point where you can make a career out of it, where it's an actual living for someone, right? And I mean, the answer is obviously not very many. And I think there's a lot of people that go into YouTube with the same idea. They think, especially now with the way you can monetize channels, and right off the bat too, it used to be you had to hit a certain threshold and you had to like a certain popularity before you could do that. Now you can just turn it on. Your channel, first day one, you start a channel, you can turn on ads and you can start making money. But the amount of money you're making is very minimal. It's a couple bucks per 1,000 views. And how many videos do you see on YouTube that are like, they've got 60, 70 views on there? And that's where I started out. There was, I was doing videos for 60 people. you know, and then I hit 100 and you're like, oh yeah, I've hit 100. Then you hit 1,000, you're like, oh, this is crazy. It's 1,000 views, right? It's nothing compared to like the big guys, but, and you know, now I'm doing like 150, 200,000 views a month for any video that it comes out. Some of my bigger ones hit more, right? Still not huge, but it's something. So, but at the same time, that's still not really enough to be a viable career. It's not something where I could make enough money to live on in a comfortable enough environment. It's enough to make a living, I guess, if you had a roommate and
Share the bill.
yeah, and like you're not really living at a very good quality of life, I suppose, but it's enough. It'd be like as much as maybe a minimum wage job or something like that.
Do you think professionalism is a major aspect of being a YouTuber?
I think it's helped me a little bit compared to, again, the other ranters on the internet, because it is a niche audience too. I mean, even a guy like, I don't know if you're aware of Maddox, the like best page in the universe, him at all. He's got a YouTube channel now, and his popularity has declined quite a bit from his initial like explosion in the early mid 2000s. But there is something to be said for that, as being able to stand out with, you know, well edited, well produced content versus again, just someone sitting in front of a mic. Because I've always kind of said is, once your audience believes they can do what you can do, then you've kind of lost them. If someone thinks, if you're listening to the radio, you're watching someone on TV, and it's so kind of not well produced or well put together that you're like, I could easily do that person's job, and you could. Not like oh, I could do his job and you can't. Right? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of that. Someone, oh, I could be Tom Cruise. Well, you can't. Sorry. Like, I know he's weird, crazy, but you can't be him. Sorry. But like, if it's this sort of amateur hour type thing, and you think you could do it, then you've lost the audience right there, because obviously they've already lost any respect for you, and it's just not going to be that great of a thing.
Nobody likes arrogance in videos or people's personality. Like, if you just walk up and be like, I could totally do that, that's kind of like, well, if you think.
Well, on the other side of the spectrum, I think people want their like celebrities, I guess, to be better than them in some way, without saying it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want someone, you know, going on talking about how much better they are than you all the time, because that's just going to be
prove that you're
Yeah.
as good as you say you are.
It's going to be really annoying. But at the same time, you kind of want that that professionalism in your content and your entertainment that you're watching. Otherwise, again, if it's something you could do, you just do it.
How much do you use social media with your YouTubers and listeners and such?
I try to keep it like fairly minimal, and it's a balance that's hard to strike, right? I'll unfollow a Facebook page or a Twitter feed if it's like too much, if it's just constantly posting stuff, especially if it has nothing to do with the channel. If it's just funny pictures and memes and stuff like that, I'm just not interested, right? But so I usually, my Facebook page is probably on the low end. Most people would say, oh, I should be posting more. I usually only post a couple times a week, once for when my video comes out. But I'm trying to be fairly interactive too on both Twitter. I answer questions on Twitter. I try and answer some comments on Facebook. I still am somewhat active on YouTube, like in the YouTube comments section, which is usually a surprise. I'll comment I'll comment on something, and then I'll get people that comment, oh, it's like he's actually commenting.
He's actually looking at
it's
this
a surprise, I guess, right? And
Yeah.
I think like it shouldn't be necessarily, but a lot of the bigger ones don't.
Thank you very much. Adam Buckley here, a very own YouTuber, and I hope you all the best of luck with your YouTube channel, and hopefully it doesn't crash in something and you do well. I'm sure you'll do fine. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so yeah, Adam Buckley, a YouTuber here in London, does his Dose of Buckley. Cameron, did you learn anything? You were on camera, so you didn't really get to talk to him, but what did you learn from that?
The most surprising thing I learned from that was just the amount of money you get per se when you monetize your video. It really does differ, and that's something that's not really discussed as much as other variations in YouTube channels. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, no, it was actually really cool to talk to him and have somebody, because you always watch YouTube channels about, you know, how to do it or what's the ups and the downs and all that stuff, but actually talking to someone one-on-one was really cool, and I enjoyed it quite a lot, so great. Alrighty, so we will be coming back right after this. We will be talking to the Fanshawe students and whether or not they think YouTube is a suitable career path.
Music's so good, it's like the band is right in front of you. Fanshawe's alternative, The Falcon.
It's not always boring in the halls of Fanshawe. With CFRL Radio, it's always a party. You can listen to a wide range of music on CFRL Radio, from college country to roots of rock. You can listen online at CFRLradio.com. Fanshawe's hotspot, CFRL.
106.9 The X broadcasting all across London.
You may hear us, but we can see you. The next time you do something embarrassing, listen to 106.9 The X because we could be talking about you.
Alrighty, so we've been asking the question whether or not YouTube is a suitable career path, and we're kind of both in agreement.
I think we both think that it is, as long as you work for it.
Yep, you gotta work for it just like any other job. It doesn't just go smooth sailing to get that paycheck. But what do the students here at Fanshawe College think? I mean, they pay to get a program done, but is YouTube maybe an easy way out that you can just pop that in as a job and there you go, you're set for life? We're gonna go and find out what those guys think right here, right now.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber?
No, actually.
Channel Awesome.
C Nanners.
No, I don't have a specific YouTuber. No.
Markiplier.
Oh, I love you. You are my bestest friend.
Nah. I'd say Markiplier. It's one of my favorites.
Gotta love Markiplier.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay. I'm gonna list off 3 YouTubers, and you just let me know if you recognize them or not.
Okay.
Okay. Do you recognize the name Markiplier?
Not at all.
Markiplier was the first one.
Yep.
Recognize him?
Of course.
I think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard of him, but haven't watched it any.
Yes, I know him.
Vaguely, I've been told I look like him.
What about Tobuscus?
Not one bit.
Yeah, I've heard of Tobuscus.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I know Tobuscus.
I know who he is.
Bit.
PewDiePie.
No.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Who doesn't know PewDiePie?
Vaguely related.
Yeah.
Recognize PewDiePie, right?
Yes, everyone knows PewDiePie.
Yep.
So
These 3 YouTubers, they make a career out of being YouTubers, so they get paid for their work, all that stuff. Do you consider it a legitimate career path?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you have a connection with what you do, and you get paid for it, and you meet lots of people through it, and that's basically any job.
I mean, I think so. I mean, it's just like any other form of entertainment. If somebody's willing to,
If you're dedicated to it and make money off it, yeah, it's a career.
yeah, and if you bring enjoyment to others and they're willing to pay you for your living to do that, then I think that's awesome.
Of course. What happens with YouTube is that if you get popular enough, you get people to sponsor you and your channel. There's this one girl from an article that I was just reading who just bought $1 million house with the money that she made from sponsors on YouTube.
I do. I believe it is a career path, and I believe it's a new one that's opening up. Very similar to talk shows and entertainers and comedians. They do the very same thing as they entertain people for a living, and they do talks and rants that people listen to, and as they make money off YouTube and advertisements.
Did you ever consider starting a YouTube channel as a career?
I think so, yeah.
No.
I would personally play video games all day on YouTube if I could get paid for it. And really, I might consider that as like a career option one day.
Not at this moment because I'm in school for a reason. If all else fails, I wouldn't mind.
I would love to, but like nobody views me mostly, but I try.
I could try, but I'm not sure if I get any likes.
Oh, definitely.
I would not.
Why not?
I have a career in mind, and it just would seem very difficult to get to that point of popularity, as it's a very sought-after career, in my opinion.
I don't know. Since I watch a lot of Markiplier and stuff, I'd probably do something like a gaming channel.
Probably do a Let's Play like that.
I would hope so, yeah. But I don't know if I could get into it because it just seems like such a hard thing to get into.
Probably on Canadian nostalgia, like from the not from the 90s to like late 2000s.
Mostly playing my guitar.
Awesome music channel. I like it.
More along the lines of pranking people, I think.
Okay.
Just making people laugh would be really...
The idea for a show called Hobo Kings, where you go and travel around being hobos and figure out how to do hobo cooking. So things like where to scrounge food from for free or cheap, or like how to cause malfunctions in small grocery markets. They throw out all the meat and you just get it fresh while it's still good.
I'd probably start music. I'd probably start making music.
Oh my goodness. Food, maybe.
Yeah.
Video games, definitely.
Video games.
Probably just some scaredy girl playing Slender all the time.
All right, so we've been talking about whether or not YouTube is a suitable career path, and yeah, I think the answer is yes.
I think unanimously it's yes, but it is work, and like most, all careers, you do have to work at it.
So yeah, we talked to Adam Buckley, a London YouTuber, and he does it for a hobby, but he enjoys it all the same. We asked students here at Fanshawe College what they thought, and everybody, I was actually surprised how many people knew who Markiplier was.
Yeah,
I was super excited about that. That was great.
Weirdly, popular channels within a specific group. That
Yeah, because PewDiePie is the one with over like 35 billion people. There are 35 million subscribers, and yet more people recognize Markiplier, who's only got 6 million subscribers.
Yeah, who knows? We could ask the same number of people on any other day, and the answers could be completely different, which is kind of the cool thing and the unfortunate thing about YouTube as a career.
Finding people who know your channels and what you like is just super amazing. You get those niches and you're just like, oh my God, you know who that guy is and that guy and that guy. All right, well, that is our show here for Stellar on this rather cold, if you're here in London, Friday night, February the 20th. There will not be Stellar next week because Fanshawe College is on reading week next week. I'm totally not excited about that. So thank you so much for joining us here at Stellar Radio and Fanshawe's 106.9. The X. That's gonna stand still.